recently in this House about Christine from Cumnock, New South Wales, who had to travel an additional kilometre after a car accident to call 000 on a landline at a nearby house because she didn't have mobile phone reception. And Joe from Meckering, Western Australia, who called in while I was on a Perth radio station, saying he has regular visitors at his home on the Transcontinental Highway asking to use his landline because, contrary to network indications, there is no mobile phone reception on his section of the highway. Like it or not, landline services remain essential to connectivity in regional Australia, enabling access to emergency services in time of need, the ability to work or run a business, access healthcare and access essential government services, and of course maintain social connection. Affordable fixed-line voice services, in other words landline services, may no longer rely on the copper wiring, but the fixed voice services remain critically important. Mobile connectivity remains sketchy at best in large swathes of regional Australia and has been made worse by this Labor government's abysmal failure to effectively manage the 3G network shutdown. While the country has been rightly shocked at the devastatingly tragic outcomes of Optus' recent 000 outage, and I hear there is another one this afternoon, I feel compelled to highlight that large parts of our vast country have no access to 000 at all on their mobile phones, and that is because they don't have any mobile phone service. The point is often overlooked, but it is not lost on people who live in the regions. Thankfully, redundancy has been built into the telecommunications system for the most part due to legislative provisions like the Universal Service Obligation and the statutory and infrastructure provider regime to ensure minimum service levels for fixed voice and high-speed broadband. The Nationals are acutely aware of the urgent need to update the USO and the SIP for this day and age, and landlines currently remain vital for regional connectivity. I turn now to the text of the motion that my colleague has brought and the ACCC's draft determination on declared voice interconnection services, including the Fixed Terminating Access Service, FTAS, Fixed Originating Access Service, FOAA. Let me say that again. I think it's FOAS acronyms, and Mobile Terminating Access Service, MTAS. As explained by the Shadow Minister for Communications, the ACCC's determination varies the fees charged when a customer on one telecommunication network calls a customer on another for the handover of that call. Stakeholders, including fixed-only providers, have expressed concern that ACCC's proposed reductions could undermine service continuity, competition and investment in these essential networks. Communities most at risk of being impacted by the ACCC's draft proposal are those, and I know this will shock the House, in regional and remote areas where there is a theme where there is limited redundancy in the system. And I am concerned what this ruling could mean for competition. While the ruling theoretically entices new market entrants, it jeopardises the viability of existing smaller operators with footprints and staff in Australia already. Australia has arguably the most concentrated telecommunications market in the developed world. Given the ACCC's remit is to promote competition, protect consumers, support fair trading and regulate national infrastructure to make markets work for everyone, why propose changes to network charges that hinge on a hypothetical rather than a reality and potentially reduce competition? Makes no sense to me. Two submissions to the inquiry, Aussie Broadband and Venture Insights, model that the draft determination equates to a 75.6% reduction in the fixed terminating rate, which they say will disproportionately hit fixed-only providers and erode competition. The size of the proposed fee reduction and the speed at which it would be implemented poses a significant threat a threat large enough to compromise business viability and trigger flight from the market. I highlight that these recommendations...
Time has expired.